nos compagnes, aux hommes citoyens, formés comme bataillons, marchons, marchons, que sans mur, que nos sillons, aux hommes citoyens, formés comme bataillons, marchons, marchons, que sans mur, que nos sillons.
Well, that was a very, very stirring French national anthem for Bastille Day. It is the 14th of July, and I always enjoy Bastille Day because she is an amazing singer. We get the same version every year because I just enjoy watching her sing what is a very gory sort of national anthem, if you could understand the words. Which I got in English, but she does an absolutely wonderful version of the French national anthem, the Marseillaise. Anyway, good evening to you all. This is Patricia and David, Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH286 to be official, and we are back here as we usually are at 5:15, 0515 UTC. And it is a glorious evening, an absolutely glorious evening here at Gulf Harbour tonight. We've had a wonderful day. Well, actually, we didn't have a wonderful day because we had to drive south about an hour and a quarter in the horrible Auckland traffic. But at least it was blue sky and sunshine, as it is at the moment still. But 14 degrees, a low humidity 55%, which makes it very pleasant, 1020.6 on the bar, and about 5 to 10 knots of southwest wind in our lovely clear skies, which I imagine is going to give us a very, very cold night and morning. All right, what have we got here? Just a wrap up of Fiji news first, as we normally do, seeing as you're the only ones that are around and about this season. 1 death, bringing the total to 59. 647 new COVIDs. They're doing a lot of testing now. Total of 9,725 active cases at the moment. A lot of help coming their way though. St John's, New Zealand are sending over 4 ambulances full of medical equipment. The Rotary Clubs of New Zealand and Fiji are providing thousands of face masks that will be coming almost now and over the next month. The Australians are sending a second medical team. They've had one there for about 3 weeks now. And 62% have now had their first dose of AstraZeneca, which is very high, particularly compared to New Zealand. And 11.7% of citizens are now fully vaccinated. Meanwhile, and still on Fijian news, a Fijian Indian has won MasterChef in Australia. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Very Fijian Indian influenced foods, and great. He's a pastor actually, and has won MasterChef, which is a very lucrative thing to win in Australia. Australia, meanwhile, let's have a look at what's happening COVID-wise there. Melbourne has 7 new cases, and the MCG is amongst the sites, which is a bit of a drama. The MCG, for you folk from America, is the Melbourne Cricket Ground, hallowed ground in Melbourne. So that's not too good. New South Wales have had 97 new cases. Their lockdown has been extended another 2 weeks, so they're looking at a month-long lockdown. And an Australian millionaire has been fined rather a large amount of money. Actually, I think it was about 15,000 Australian dollars. He allegedly tried to flee New South Wales on his super yacht. It's a 34-metre power boat. He left Bayview and is now under the Coast Guard jurisdiction in Southport. So he didn't get very far. So a bit of a message to other people trying to escape New South Wales with their lockdown. Good news for us in New Zealand. The New Zealand Inland Revenue building in Wellington has had to be shut down because it's got earthquake risk. So 1,000 staff are now working from home. Hopefully they'll find other things to do than look at people's tax returns. So that might slow things down a bit. All right, let's have a look at the boats that we have been looking at on passage. First of all, free wind, maybe getting in tomorrow night, depending on how he's still got contrary winds, of course, but boy, that's at least 14 or 15 days. He'll need a bit of fuel. Hopefully he's still got some. So doing quite well in comparison with that monstrous big power boat that has been coming down from Tahiti. Mini, they've been keeping their distance from free wind, and they'll probably not be in until the following day. That will be Friday. All right, let's have a look at our 3 boats that are in the race, which we definitely think on handicap Castile will win, hands down. Argo is leading the threesome, 2037178119. East are doing about 6.5 on a course of 324. They've got tons of wind. They've got about 22 to 24 knots of southeasterly at the moment, according to my screen. Castile behind at 2102 and 17848, doing 6.8 on a course of about 307. And then Calypso, 2134 and 17909, doing 6.9 on a course of 342. So they'll all be arriving in the not too distant future. So they'll be certainly getting some good wins, that's for sure, for their last bit. Won't be any complaints in usage of fuel for those 3, but doing well. Looks like I have no idea where the Cineran that's come from, it's an Australian boat, whether it's going to Savu tomorrow or whether it's just going to keep going to Australia. Who knows? Savu will find out. There's another boat, a French boat, that will pass underneath Viti Levu. It looks like it might just be going to Newcastle and not stopping in Fiji. There's a boat that has left Fiji, actually, a catamaran, Exile. It's heading to Australia, left today, doing a good speed, 8.2, heading on a course of 264. Got good winds, 20 knots southeast. So that's a bit of the roundup for the boats that we know there have been no more leave New Zealand by the look of it. So we'll won't have much to talk about actually once these boats get to Fiji. I still have not got any information on Moxie and the other boat that has left Tokakia. They're not on the AIS. So sorry about that. Can't help you there as to where they are and what they're doing. Anyway, let's have a listen to David for the weather roundup.
Okay, good evening again from the Gulf Harbour Radio weather desk. The synoptic picture for today at noontime, shows the Tasman high that we've been talking about, centered roughly 30 south and 165 east. Pressure, we'll call it 1026, 1026 millibar. Now, there are 3 depressions in the big picture. The old New Zealand low is well east at 155 west, so well south of French Polynesia. Another depression lies due south of the South Island. This is the depression that was near Tasmania, the last couple of days, but it scooted very quickly to the southeast. The third one, the big one, is in the Oz Bight, and that's traveling very slowly eastward as well. Now, there is a cold front passing through Raoul Island. You can see it on satellite imagery. It's reaching northwest, seems to stop at about 27 south and 170 east. Cloud seems to just stop right about that point. So that's about as far as that frontal band goes. Another front runs from that first depression that we talked about, the one that's well to the east of New Zealand. That runs to about 20 south and 175 east. It fractures at that point, looking at satellite imagery, and then it continues on as a trough to Vanuatu, then onward to the southern Solomons. And then there's another trough, and that one is running through Fiji. Those of you that are in Fiji know that it's doing that. It's angled sort of northwest to southeast. And the last trough that I can see runs just west of Samoa to just northeast of Niue, so it's canted a bit as far as its location is concerned. The situation now for Fiji involves the trough that I just mentioned, the one that is over Fiji, as it gradually moves east-northeast across the group. Now the Tasman High, mentioned a little bit earlier, is providing very fresh southeast winds over the southern parts of Fiji that are feeding into this trough. So anyway, expect southeast 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 20 to 25 knots by evening into tomorrow. So expect moderate to rough seas now, and mostly rough seas by tonight. So the outlook is for continued strong winds. We'll call it southeast 20 to 25 knots and rough seas still. I think by Friday we'll see east-southeast 20 to 25, and Saturday we'll see a shift.
That's because he's coughing, folks, because whilst the Marseillaise was on, he was making firing sounds to accompany it. Anyway, back to David.
Well, that was what the anthem is about. I mean,
Yes, it's very
there's a lot of shooting and mortars going off and all that sort of thing. So where was I? So Friday, east-southeast 20 to 25, and Saturday, a wind shift. I believe we'll see easterlies, or you will see easterlies, to 20 knots up in the group. So that's about it for me, and I'll pass it over to the chief.
Okay, there you see, you shouldn't do those things on the air. All right, folks, that's about it. Boy, it's a beautiful night here. Is there anybody wanting to say hello or give us some information or whatever? This is Gulf Harbour Radio listening.